Hey everyone. No, your eyes are not deceiving you. That is actually Sally. That is actually Princess Sally. And get this. This was revealed this past weekend. And that's why it says breaking news there. This was actually revealed this past weekend at the New York City Comic Con. That's right, the New York City Comic Con. Basically, they were talking about the crossover between Mega Man and, you know how they do slideshows and stuff like that, video stuff. Well, they were talking about the Mega Man crossover with Sonic, and they flickered back and forth between pictures, and one of the pictures that came up was this. And then they flickered off of it real quickly and say, and basically this is what Ian says. He says, please no photos, and yet someone still takes one. With the iPhone, that is. So, anyway, they finally do go back to it, and I want to ask you guys this question. Does this design remind you of anything you've seen maybe elsewhere on the internet? Does this not remind you of something? I'll clue you in. Sonic GX. That's right. The Flash series that you can see on DeviantArt and some other Sonic sites. That's exactly what it is. It's a redesign or a modified version of the Sonic GX design. Now, from what I could tell, the differences are she's going to have gloves. Believe it or not, they're giving her gloves. I can't believe it. They're going to give her gloves, I guess, due to the fact that, you know, her hands are different because of robotization. That's understandable. It seems that she's going to keep her same facial design. Her hair is going to be a little bit more different, as you can see. She's going to have a vest still, but it's going to be more open-sleeved, and it's going to be zipped up. The white t-shirt is going to be replaced by a black t-shirt, obviously. She's got the black capris. She's got new boots, as you can see. Kind of new. Basically, what it looks like is it's sort of a redesign. I guess this is what they feel she's going to look like after she's de-roboticized. They pretty much figured, well, there's the boots with the metal. Okay, that's fine, no big deal. Gloves because of her hands, the chest part, and then down here. So yeah, basically I guess they matched it up as best as they could to what she would look like after de-robotization, even though there are some that have said, well look, even though there are some like say Trunk 2.9 or something like 2.4, and a few others that have said, well, she might look like this or she might look like that. But apparently this is going to be the end result. And apparently, from what I understand, if I can pull it up here, and they even have it on some of these sites here, Miko, XX Miko here, I'm going to show you his name right there, isn't too thrilled about it. In fact, a lot of people ain't thrilled. This is what Miko says down here. He says, or she says, 20 issues, and we get Bunny de-roboticized and a Sally redesign. And then you can see what picture they put on there. And then they put this. To be honest, when I noticed Mecha Sally didn't look like the original, I already expected a design. How else to make Sally even more popular? See, not a lot of people are happy about it, whether they like the character or not. And I guarantee you, there's a lot that don't like it. Now, the first person to report it was Gene93 over here at the Sonic forums. And they said, apparently, Sally gets back to normal and has a new design. No pictures yet, though. And then some people, this is Advisor 1234. The Advisor 1234 said, I know, I saw this coming, but man, why is this comic so predictable? Gene's response, Ian isn't good at hiding things, huh? Seba Yoko O's response is, obviously this is the most easy thing that anyone could see. No spoilers needed. XX Miko XX puts this on there. I think it's Anderson, yeah. And the fact is, we're not surprised. And then I kind of responded by saying, yeah, me and a few others called it at first. That was my response right there. And Zappers14 wants a source, and then we get the source right here thanks to Gene. But it's not by Gene, it's by somebody else. Tikal is like, what the? Sonic 5993 is like, nee. So, not a lot of people are too much thrilled by it. But when you go over here to the, I guess you could say the Sonic, this board here, to Sonic Stadium, and this was basically the responses. Now they did put the pictures up here. And according to the Wally Gator person here at Sonic Stadium, they state, the source for this said they didn't say not to take pictures of it. I think he got confused on what I said though. I didn't say that it referred to all of the Archie stuff, just this. But he still took a picture, which of course is this. Now you're not going to tell me that people on internet, YouTube and all that are not going to post pictures and video, you know, the New York City Comic Con. Now Chaos Supreme Sonic says they're not sure what to think of the new Sally at the moment. Quality's kind of iffy from what I can make out of it. And I'm sure a lot of other people are going to talk about it too. Now, I'm trying to find more information here. Again, some people are happy about it, some people are not. Now, Kitty Nakajima reports on Sonic Stadium, and they say, I was at the New York Comic Con panel this afternoon. This was yesterday. I can confirm the report of the new design. Just think zipped up vest, black lycra capris, these that make your butt look bigger than it is, which I don't, you know, basically I think that's an exaggeration on that part. Says they don't care much for the character, but figure they might as well confirm, especially as both the editor and writer begged folks not to take pictures of it. It's only a matter of time before someone posted, and boy did they ever. Now, Jin93 over here, who's also a member here in the Sonic Stadium, asked why the new design. I sort of wish they would have killed her off for good. Now, Kitty Najima, the response is, I really don't know. All I know is that one moment they're still talking about. Okay, now here's the interesting part. Here's the interesting part, right here. This is what Najima says later on in response to Jin93. Says, I really don't know. All I know is that one moment they're still talking about the Mega Man Sonic crossover, then it suddenly flickers to her new design before they ask folks for no photography when they show it again. And I concur. Granted, she has her fan base that is well enough to want this, but I'd rather they just either end her in a dignified manner to quill her fans, or not have her be so prominently featured. With that said, I'll just make my exit stage left. Now, Sonman kind of responds to this and says, I kind of hope she will have a complete overhaul in character. Like the whole robotization ordeal could possibly change her and makes her a more likable character. Well, we'll have to see. That's what I'm wondering too. You know, we're not sure if mentality-wise it could have done something, but we're not really. We don't have all. One thing I will say, we don't have all the specifics yet or anything. But if robotization has taught us anything in these comics, despite who the writer is, then they always retain who they are. They just have a new look. Now this is what Maurice Hitchcock says. He says in response to Kitty Najima, he says, oh, the riots that would ensue over this. The Satayam fan base seems to remain strong, though some polls really should have been those sun poles should really, okay, those sun poles really should be taken to see what her fate should be. And then he mentions what the original idea for Endgame was, but the fact that Sega stepped in and stopped it because they wanted to use her in future plans. And he does mention that historically characters have been ordered by high-ups to be killed off, so who knows what could happen. He says he remembers on Bumble King, many readers said they dropped the strip if she was killed off. So such an issue is very delicate. So basically it's getting sort of a mixed reaction in my opinion. You know, some like it and some don't. You know, apparently those at like the forums in Sonic Stadium are like, you know, they're like, are you fucking kidding me? You know, we went through all this for the past 18 plus months and still going, just so you can do this? You know, like I said, not too happy about it. You know, as some people would say. And I did say somewhere on one of these sites, I'm not really which one it was, but here's the reason for the new redesign, if you will. Here's the reason, folks. The reason being is because, from what I read on one of the sites, parents, believe it or not, parents, I don't know if it's totally parents or not, but some parents were up in arms of her original design being too suggestive. Well, not up in arms, but felt her original design with just the vest and boots was too suggestive. So that's why they had this done. Yeah, you heard me right. Basically, from what I understand, some families felt that her original design, the vest and the boots that a lot of fans know her for, was a little too suggestive. So take that as you will, but that's what I read. I think I read it here at the forums. But again, basically that's the whole situation. They felt that her redesign was a little too, not her redesign. I'm sorry, her original design, her season 2 design. Let's put it that way. Her SatAM season 2 design was too suggestive. Yeah. Go figure, right? But that's basically why she has the new design. Now, I do understand that every now and then characters have to get an overhaul, basically get a makeover, a redesign, so they can continue being what you want, or continue being what you need them to be. I get that. I understand that. And I pretty much called this. I mean, Natalie over at the not Saturday Ample, but at the Saturday Morning Sonic forums basically said, and I'll show you this, she said that as soon as she saw it, she told herself, B.W. Roses called it. And I was right. And I'm not the only one that called it, folks. Game Boy Sage called it. I think Laser X5 called it. In fact, this is what she says right here. This is Natalie right here. And this is what she says. She says, when I heard about the redesign, my first thought was that you had called it, B.W. Roses. I honestly didn't think it would happen, but from what I hear, it's just a clothing change, so it's not a big deal, at least to me. I do enjoy seeing the characters in different outfits, and I've been trying to design a full outfit for Sally for a while now, so I'm curious as to what this one will look like. And I basically provide the link to the picture. And, you know, again, not a lot of people thought it would happen, but like I said, from what I understand, from what I've read, apparently it's due to the fact that parents, and I'm not totally sure if they have 100%. And again, I'm not totally 100% sure if it's all parents or anything. But apparently some parents I guess, I don't know, I mean I have to find it again. But apparently some parents felt, like I said, felt that her original design was too suggestive. So that's why they changed it. You know, that's why they changed it, because they felt her original design, her season 2 design, if you will, was too suggestive to even, you know, be used. So that's basically what it is. Basically, her her original design was too suggestive, if you can believe that. But that's what they said. It was, you know, just too suggestive, you know, for the comic. So and then Ezekiel here actually reported it too. And if I can get back up to it. He says, and this was done 12 hours, 4 minutes ago, says that today at the Comic-Con, the biggest fanboy convention in the world, Ian revealed that after the crossover, Sally was shown in a blue jumpsuit. Well, there you goes. Well, there you go. To give her a set of clothes, all that padding, bullshit plot holes and heartstring cuts for a fucking change in outfit. And that was the title of his journal. Now, I'm on there and I'm thinking, well, I called it. I said, knew it, called it. Laser X5, known as Sonic SatAM X93 here, says, gotta give Game Boy Sage credit that if that is indeed the case, he called it exactly like that, or I don't know. Although now, one thing about Laser, they're always still skeptical because they're not totally 100% sure. Although I'm very skeptical, they reveal what Sally would look like after this asinine story is done. It seems too good to be true if you ask me. But yes, I couldn't agree more. All this crap just so Sally would become clothed. In other words, or in the words of Nostalgia Critic to Archie Comic, and he quotes Nostalgia Critic, he says, "You are scum." That's his saying. Now, and then it continues on. He says, "I mean, my goodness, what a load of crap. I'm not against Sally getting clothed, but putting her through all that torture." That's what they meant to say. Through all that torture just for this? Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm still convinced Ian never liked Sally. If he was a fan of hers, Ian would have done something simple to resolve this issue. Like, just having her decide to wear one. Easy. It wouldn't be out of character at all for Sally to decide she'd be a better freedom fighter in a combat suit. It's so simple of a solution to all those against her wearing just vests and boots. And yet it boggles the mind why this pathetic comic went to all this drama to see it happen. You know, I think I'll stick to my I think I'll stick by my premise that Archie Sonic is out to get Sally. You don't put so much nonsense if you don't like a character. And that was Laser X5's deal. Phoenix Cat says, in response 3 hours ago, yeah, in the first season she just wore her boots, but in the second season she got her vest. She didn't have to go through anything for it. She just showed up like that. You think they could have had a scene where Sally and Amy or someone else go to the mall, Amy playfully teases Sally about being a tomboy, and randomly picks up an outfit and shows it to Sally, but Sally actually ends up liking it, tries it on, and buys it. And then Starmo goes, Sally does not need a wardrobe change. Oh, I am steaming. Volcar295 says, knew it! Or says, knew it. And then says, hang on, seriously people, we're missing the massive elephant in the room here, Mogul. After the crossover, Sally is shown fully clothed. In other words, either during or before the crossover, she gets fixed. Fin fucking alley. She gets fixed. Or fine fucking alley, or something like that. But yeah, not a lot of people are, basically it's a mixed bag right now, folks. But, again, I understand that sometimes a character does need a redesign. I get that. And sometimes they needed to boost their popularity or whatever. I mean, I also get that sometimes a character needs a redesign because it gets them better acquainted with the new audience that you're trying to reach them with. Ian's always saying, hey, I want to get this new audience here to be acquainted with the freedom fighters. Here you go. And let's take a look at it from a historical standpoint, folks. Let's take a look at it. Even before Ian came on board, as far as I know, before Ian even came on board, Bunny Rabbit had a new design, right? She had long hair, she had a leather, she had a cowgirl hat, a cowboy hat. She had a gun buckle, if you will, a gunslinging buckle. She had a gun buckle, if you will. She had a buckle with a gun, whatever you want to call it, with a star on it in the middle. She had a brown jacket, leather jacket, if you will, brown leather jacket, gloves. So there's a redesign right there. Yeah, it still kept Bunny similar to what she was, and we've seen that with the pink top and everything, but it gave her a new design in a way. It kind of modified her so she'd be more interesting to the newer public, to the newer fans, and obviously that it worked out. Then you take a look at Rotor recently. He's got a nanite suit. There you go. I mean, look at Nicole. She's given a redesign from being a portable computer to being a Lynx, and then as a Lynx, she kind of even redesigns herself. She kind of redesigns herself not as just Iron Nicole, which is at first against her will, but then to be a spy. But she also redesigns herself in a little outfit, a little like casual go out and have fun outfit. So it's not a first time this has happened. Yeah, for someone like Sally, it's a big shock. Maybe it's a big surprise, but when you think about it, there might be a reason for it. I mean, you don't really know. I mean, what if maybe Sega's saying, hey, let's put this girl in the game? Because when you take a look at the design, she's got gloves. Only the game characters have gloves. But then again, like I mentioned earlier, I understand that it's due to her hands being the way they are currently being roboticized and weaponized. I get that. So, overall, I have to agree, it looks okay. It is a bit of a Sonic GX inspiration, I guess you could say. But I think it's alright. I mean, I'll give it time. I think a lot of people are going to give it time, and if it goes over, it'll go over fine. But if it doesn't, I'm pretty sure they're going to say, okay, let's put it back to the way she was. And maybe that's what they'll do. Maybe the maybe they'll opt to say, okay, we'll do her like this for a few issues, then we'll do her as a design, blah, blah, blah. And again, I mean, and again, why do you feel, and again, why do you think they put her on the cover of Best of the Sonic the Hedgehog collector's book? Why do you think they have her on the front cover along with Sonic and Knuckles of the encyclopedia? It's because she's still relevant, she's still popular, and this proves it. So, that's just about all I'm going to say here on that. If you want to comment down below, video response if you like, go ahead. Again, I think it's okay, and we'll give it time. We'll have to just give it time, see if it really goes over. Because again, that's why they did Bunny's design even before Ian Flynn took over. That's why they're doing the thing with Rotor, and maybe doing something similar with Antoine to get the fans over, or get the characters over with the newer generation, the newer fan base. So again, we'll just have to wait and see what they do. And that's all I'm going to say. Comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Video response, if you like. They are welcomed. And I will talk to you all later. God bless. Have a good day.